Hello, everybody. This is the KGC show, and today I am joined by a very special friend of mine. She is the host of a great podcast called Kelly's Corner, and you can see it or hear it all over Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and much more. Please give it up for my friend and yours, Miss Kelly Cline. How you doing, Kelly?
I'm doing great, Caden. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Thank
Where are
you
you
for having
calling us
me.
from?
Oxford, Alabama.
There you go. Home state of William Lee Golden.
It is a little further south than me.
But how you doing today?
Not too bad. A little bit under the weather earlier in the week, but I'm doing a lot better today.
Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to join us on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I've been looking forward to it.
Well, like I said, you host a podcast called Kelly's Corner. Can you talk to us a little bit about the inspiration for that?
Well, it's actually kind of funny. My brother actually thought of the idea several years ago. He told me that I needed to create a podcast and talk about history and things that I enjoy. And when he first brought it to my attention, I thought that's dumb. Nobody's gonna care about that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple of months ago, I was talking to a friend of mine. You may know him too. His name's Tyler Kinnaman, and he told me the same thing. You need to create a podcast. And so it kind of started as a little bit of a joke. Yeah, I'm going to create a podcast because I have a lot to say. And then it just kind of, within like a day, it became this serious thing and kind of just snowballed. Um, and so I do. I talk a lot of history. I talk about things that I enjoy, just life in general. And it's kind of been therapeutic for me. You know, it's just kind of a way to get thoughts out of my head.
Yeah. So how do you prepare for an episode?
Depending on the week that I do it, whatever week I choose to record, um, I'll look at things like what has gone on historically, because history is a big part of my podcast. And so I incorporate some sort of history into every single episode that I do. Um, so I'll look for something there, something of interest that catches my eye, maybe some big anniversary, um, or just Memorial Day. I did an episode on Memorial Day. I did an episode in April, and it covered anything from the Civil War to the sinking of the Titanic to the Lincoln assassination, because those were big anniversary years. Lincoln was assassinated in 1865, and so this is 2025. So I think it was like 180 years or something. Um, and so it was maybe 160 years. I don't remember, but it was a big anniversary year. And so I look for stuff like that. And then if there's anything going on in my personal life with me or my family, I did an episode devoted to graduations because several family members graduated from either kindergarten or high school or even college. So did an episode on that. So it just it kind of depends as to what's going on, the time of the year, that kind of thing.
Did you know when you were going into it that it was going to be as therapeutic as it is?
I did not. I really thought that, like I said, like I told my brother a couple of years ago when he said you needed to do this, I really, honest to goodness, believed in my heart nobody's going to care about this, nobody's going to watch it, and you're just going to kind of do it to be talking to yourself. And that has not been the case.
Wow. Well, it's a great, great show, and I encourage people to go check it out and listen to it. We're going to talk a little bit about that later on in the show. We're going to steer away from the podcast for a moment because you and I share a mutual respect and admiration and love for one of the greatest groups of all time, the Oak Ridge Boys. And can you talk to us a little bit about how that emerged into what it is today?
My love for the Oak Ridge Boys.
Hmm.
I grew up listening to the Oak Ridge Boys. They've always been a part of me. And I actually did not attend an Oak Ridge Boys concert until 2020, believe it or not, the year of COVID. Um, I don't know why. It just never happened. Um, but a guy I was dating at the time took me to one of their Christmas shows at the Opryland Hotel, and I had the best time. And I told him, I'm going to meet him one day. Oh no, no, you're not going to meet him. I'm going to meet him one day. You just wait. I'm going to meet him. And sure enough, through Twitter and through X, I've met some of them, not all of them. I never got to meet Joe Bonzel, um, but I've met Dwayne Allen several times. I've met William Lee Golden, um, and so sure enough that happened. But I grew up listening to the Oak Ridge Boys, um, and Dwayne and I have a special bond. Um, he, I make no bones about it. He's my favorite. I love the guy. Um, I think everybody has that one of the four that they tend to gravitate more to, and he's mine.
You get to see them often. Do you have like a favorite memory that stands out to you?
I do. Um, Most people would probably think that it would be um, one of the times that I've been able to take a photo with Dwayne. But that for me, that's not the case. And those times have been special, and the times that I've gotten to really have a conversation with him have been special, and I'm thankful for those. But my very favorite memory that stands out was the Georgia Mountain Fair in August of 2024. I was sitting in the audience, and they were singing the "Y'all Come Back Saloon," which is my favorite of all of the songs that they sing in the hit show. Um, there's another song that I like a little bit better, but in a show they sing mostly the hits, and that's my favorite hit. Um, and they were singing the "Y'all Come Back Saloon," and I was sitting there with my friend, and it was funny because Dwayne had told me that the next time he saw me at a show that he was going to kind of come over and we were gonna meet. And I thought anybody can say anything, anybody can say they're going to do this, um, or they're going to do that. And I had told my friend he hasn't even seen me. He has no idea where I'm at because that it was a big center, a big auditorium, and they got to the part where they kind of take a break from singing and let the music, the band come up and play. And he takes his microphone off the stand and walks literally all the way across the stage. He had seen me and I had no idea. Walks all the way across the stage and calls me up and shakes my hand. And it's funny because I had told my friend, you have one job, and that one job is when this moment happens, you have to get the very least get a picture so that I have that for memory. Well, it happened so quickly she didn't. But the lady behind me was recording the Y'all Come Back Saloon and realized that something was about to happen. And she panned over and caught the whole moment on film.
Um, but what does Dwayne Allen mean to you?
He's my hero. Without him, I don't know where I would be.
Yeah,
I don't know if I could put into words exactly what he does mean to me, other than to say that he's one of my heroes.
I feel the same way about all four of them. Uh, is there? So, I know that Dwayne is a mentor. Is he? Has he mentored you at all?
Not in the sense of like musically, but more along the lines of life.
Yeah. Is there a piece of advice? I know he's a great advice giver. What's something he said to you that encourages you every day?
Keep your faith. Don't give up on it.
Yeah,
Trust God.
that's, yeah. And my next question is, what advice would you give to somebody who is wanting to start a podcast but is too afraid to do it?
I was in those same shoes, um, because it is kind of a big deal. And just take the leap of faith. You're not going to be talking to yourself like I thought I would be. There's somebody out there who has the same interest as you, and even if you don't necessarily like history, like my podcast revolves around a lot of history. Um, Even if you don't necessarily like history as much as I do, still whatever the subject is, give it a listen because you might learn something, whether it's science or history or sports or whatever. It's whatever your interest is, go with it. Don't be afraid to step out there and take the leap of faith.
Talked a little bit about your faith just a second ago with the advice Dwayne gave you. How has your faith helped you in your podcast?
I talk a lot about my faith in my podcast because to me, faith is everything. Without my faith, I don't know how anybody makes it through life without faith. Um, and so it's everything. My entire life is grounded in my faith.
So, it shows incredible. Like, well, just like what I thought it would be. And, you know, there's room for everybody on the internet. I mean, that's why God made
Right.
it big enough for everybody. And we all have a gift. And the one thing that I encourage people to do on this show and just in general in life is when things are going astray in your life, throw up a prayer because it works.
Oh,
I would not be able to have the guests I have on my show without God.
right.
And we would not have been able to meet our heroes if it would not have been for God. So when you say prayers don't work, think again.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, the
Because
most important thing you can do is to keep going, even no matter how bleak the situation is. Just because it's storming today doesn't mean the sun's not going to come out tomorrow. You've just got to have faith that God's in control of it, even in our worst situations and circumstances, and just hang on a little bit longer.
He holds tomorrow.
He does. He does. And because he holds tomorrow, we can face tomorrow.
What does the future of your show look like?
I have no idea. It A lot of history, a lot of life. Um, I know in September, I'm going to a lot of Oak Ridge Boys concerts. Um, I'll see the boys 3 times in September, and then I'll see Dwayne 2 other times after that. And so you can pretty well guarantee that September is going to be a lot of podcasts on my travels to see the Oak Ridge Boys. And there will probably be a special podcast, I can just about guarantee you, um, on the 2 additional times that I see Dwayne in September when he is inducted into the Southern Gospel Music Association Hall of Fame in September. And it's actually kind of funny. I joined the Southern Gospel Music Association to vote for Dwayne's induction
Me
just
too.
this past year. Just this past year, I joined. Okay. I just so happened to be at the Grand Ole Opry the night that he was surprised with the announcement that he had been inducted into the Southern Gospel Music Hall of Fame. And in September, I will be in the audience when he is inducted.
Founder of Club 44 and Stowtown Records. And we have Rick Shelton, who's Vice President of Day One Records. They also serve on the board of directors with me. We're here tonight to give a little surprise honor to Mr. Dwayne Allen. Dwayne, in 1960, that's all right, go ahead. So, next year will be 60 years you've been singing lead with the Oak Ridge Quartet. turned into Oak Ridge Boys. What you may not know about Dwayne is he actually wrote the first gospel music history book in 1971 and started out singing shape note music right in Texas.
That's true.
Well, the surprise for tonight, on behalf of all the board of directors and the voting public of the Southern Gospel Music Association, this September 23rd, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, at the National Quartet Convention, Dwayne Allen is going in the Southern Gospel Music Association Hall of Fame.
I bet you're excited.
I am. It's very, very deserving honor
Yes,
for a
it
very,
is.
very, very deserving man.
Congratulations, Dwayne. You deserved it, buddy. 60 years of being an Oak Ridge boy. Wow. And thank you for the sacrifice that you wanted to do for this great country, because it's heroes like you that we can do what we do here on our shows and do our job. So thank you a million times, Dwayne. You're a role model to everybody.
Absolutely.
Kelly, I've enjoyed this conversation today. I am praying that you get better and heal fast up. And have you had a good time so far?
I have. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it, and I like I said, I feel a lot better than I have the last couple of days. I know we had set this up last week, and I thought because we've been talking about it for a couple of months now, and I thought 2 or 3 days ago I wasn't really sure I was going to be up to it. But I started to come around yesterday, and I'm very thankful that I did, so that we could do this today.
I knew you were sick, and I was like, man, I'm just going to give her to the end of the week, and hopefully she pulls through okay. And then when I saw your post, I was like, okay, everything's better.
Turned a corner.
Time to keep going.
Yep.
But
Yep.
you know what? We've had such a great show. You want to end it with a great rapid fire Q&A?
Sure.
All right. What's your favorite music?
The Oak Ridge Boys.
Of course, I know. It's just on my list. What's your favorite book?
My favorite book? Oh, goodness. Oh, anything by Brad Meltzer. If you're not familiar with his work, he writes a lot of historical fiction. Anything of his. Probably, if I had to pick one book, it would probably be The Inner Circle of his. But he's a great author.
What's your favorite Bible verse?
Romans 8:28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God and to them who are called according to his purpose.
There you go. And where can people go to keep up with you?
Facebook, Instagram, X, Kelly's Corner. I'm on most of the social media sites.
Well,
In fact, I think I have the same screen name on all of them.
well, if you are in desperate need of a great history podcast and music and all things just great, everything in between, please check out Kelly's Corner everywhere on Spotify, Apple, and check her out on social media. She's a great follow and a great presence there. Thank you guys so much. And Kelly, I would love to get you back on the show soon and get you an update soon.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, we love you guys, love one another, and we'll see you on the KGC show next week with whoever I can pull out of my sleeve. I think next week we might have a KGC show breaking record. See you next week.